For many people, it's been a long time since we've experienced the simple pleasure of going to a movie theater.
And some theaters are back open with safety measures in place, and one of those is the Dells Theater in Dell Rapids.
And as Tom Hansen shows us in tonight's Eye on KELOLAND, some big changes are in store for the historic small-town business.
In this day of megaplexes and stadium seating, the Dells Theater, built in 1938, is
like walking into a time machine.
Jeff Logan, who owns the theaters in Mitchell and Huron, bought the theater back in 1998 and admits the Dells has a special place in his heart.
We've poured a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into it over the years, and we've brought in pieces. So in some of the decor and the signage, we've brought in some signage that used to be in the Roxy at Mitchell that was Art Deco.
Additional 1930s Art Deco pieces were brought in from the State Theater in Huron and other places.
Every detail should enhance the feeling and the atmosphere. These plaques came out of classic theaters in Chicago.
However, there are plenty of original pieces from 1938, from the original stencils on the ceiling to the original curtains to these lights installed 83 years ago, designed to make the audience feel warm in the winter or cool in the summer. Also a sign of the past, this cry room.
So mothers can come to the show if their baby starts to fuss or toddler. They can go in this room, which is attached to the ladies' room, and there's 2 panes of glass. It's a soundproof room. They have a speaker in there. They can watch and hear the movie and not bother the rest of the audience. So now we'll go into the projection room. And of course, it's all new digital equipment now.
The Dells Theater combines the past and the present. Brian Anderson is an important part of the present. He's one of the managers and has worked for Logan for 11 years, first in Mitchell, then in Dell Rapids. And he believes a small-town theater has its perks.
You know everybody. I can see somebody coming out, into the theater from the street, and I'll basically have their popcorn ready because, they're regulars.
Brian says coming to work in this historic building is a special experience.
Working there for so many years, a part of it felt like it was mine. I was always there taking care of it. It felt like a second home to me. I loved it, and if I ever had the opportunity, I said I'm not going to let it pass by. I would have to buy it.
And so he is. Brian is no longer just a manager. He's the new owner of the Dells Theater, and we're making the official announcement right now on KELOLAND.
We would really only want to sell to the right person. And Brian is definitely it.
He might be a little nervous being a first-time business owner, but you might say that Brian's childhood prepared him for the movies.
I was in movies, TV shows, commercials.
Brian spent his early childhood in California, and his parents encouraged him to seek acting jobs. Here he is, in the striped shirt, in an episode of Saved by the Bell, The College Years.
Simon says, hands on hips. Simon says, get a life, lady.
Did that for about 2 years, and it was just being behind the scenes, being in my favorite shows that I watch all the time, and it just, since a young age, I've just loved movies.
Both Brian and Jeff hope that love of movies and the experience of going to a theater continue for customers.
Starting February, looking at the schedule, there's a good stream of movies coming out. And that makes me feel a little bit better.
The theater's in good hands, and we feel very good about that.
In Dell Rapids, Tom Hansen with Eye on KELOLAND.
Brian plans to increase the theater's social media presence and rent out the theater for video game players who want to play on the big screen. He's hoping more new movies come out soon. The Little Things, starring Denzel Washington, will be the first movie under new ownership starting February 1st.